harder, faster, and still not getting the results they want, because if you keep practicing the wrong thing, then you're gonna keep doing the wrong thing. And some of you, if you really think about your life, you're doing the wrong thing faster and harder. I'm gonna do it faster. I'm gonna do it harder. One job wasn't enough. I need 2 more jobs. I need 3 jobs. Before you know it, you're working like a Hebrew slave, making brick without straw. I don't need my squad working that hard. Remember, our affirmation, at least mine is for this year, is I make money easily and effortlessly. You know, you got to get to that point to where it works. So tonight, I kind of want to slap you around just a little bit more. So those of you that didn't get enough last week, like I always tell you, save some of that anger. Save some of that anger, okay? Because I'm about to make you a little madder, okay? Now, with this, I want to talk tonight about valuing yourself. What is your value of you? How much do you really value you? Now, if I were to tell you to put a price tag on you, some of you, oh, I'm worth trillions, billions. I'm worth all that bag of chips, side of Doritos with some Wheaties. You just all that in a bag of chips. I'm going to challenge you on that tonight, because the question really is, if you did value you the way you say you do, would you treat you the way you treat you? Okay, let's get into it. You guys look excited. You guys look excited. Housekeeping, guys, taking notes. I want you to take some notes. So wherever you're at, if you're able, now some of you are working and you're listening to me, keep on working. Keep on doing what you're doing. I'm just glad you're getting some of this in. I will have the recordings out by tomorrow. So if you don't get it, you can get the recording on tomorrow. My goal is for you to hear this over and over again, because sometimes it doesn't click the first time. But if you're like me, I'm a slower learner. I have to do things over and over and over again to make it work. Okay, so take notes if you can. If you can't right now, take some notes later. If you can and you're not working or doing something else that requires you not to have your camera on, then totally get it, no worries. I will not kick anybody off because their camera's not on. I understand you're doing a lot of stuff, you're doing life, okay? So while you're doing that, I just wanna put some stuff in your hearing. Ask questions or make comments. Use that chat. For those of you that are with me, use that chat, please. If I say something that resonates, do me a favor and just put that in the chat. Let me know that I'm actually saying something that's touching you in the aspect of making you want to do something more. Because my job and my thought is, I don't want to just motivate you. Motivation comes and goes. In order to be motivated, you have to continuously be motivated. Continuously be motivated. It's almost like me putting on pom-poms and running up here and going, yay, go you, go you. And that works for a little bit. But then after you get through the pom-poms and the cheering, how many of you guys are in situations that you are the cheerleader? Everybody around you is like, well, I don't know, but you're the one that got the pom-poms on, you're rooting, you're cheering, yay, and everybody's just applauding you. And because of that, none of them really value you in the aspect, they don't think about you as being someone that's, oh, they're always up, they're never down. And so that's important. So anyway, put some things in the comments. I want to see your comments tonight. And definitely stay muted until called upon. I do want to do probably about 15, 20 minutes of monologue, and then I want to do some dialogue. In other words, I want to talk a little bit, and then I want you to talk a little bit. And we're gonna have some group discussion, because I believe it's important to have information, conversation around the information. You know, you're getting information all day long, but you actually talking about what you got from it is important, because if you got something, and just know this, guys, you're not going to get everything I say, but if you get one nugget, some of you are this close to breaking into your next level of living. You're not that far off. You're this close. So really in life, you're not looking for these massive aha moments. You're just looking for these little things that can make you shift and do something a little different. Because once again, if what you were doing was perfect, then it would be working. So that means that there's something that has to change. If you agree with me, just put in the chat, I agree, I agree, I agree. This week's wins. I do want to hear about some wins, guys. I want to hear about what you do this week. What did you accomplish this week that you're proud of? Because it's important. And here's something that I struggled with, was celebrating my own wins. I still struggle to a certain extent. I'm gonna be completely transparent, because a lot of times it's easier to celebrate others than it is to celebrate yourself. You'll go all out celebrating somebody else. But when it comes to you, it's like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. And you, like some of you, you haven't even celebrated a birthday in like 20 years. If that's you, put it in the chat. I stopped celebrating birthdays. I stopped celebrating events. I stopped celebrating, I get awards. Some of you have gotten degrees, doctorates. You didn't even throw yourself a party. You was waiting on everybody else to do it, but they was waiting on you to do it because you're the one with the pom-poms. Yay me, yay me. Yeah. Now you see those pom-poms coming into action again, huh? So now, with this week's wins, come on, somebody open up, come out of the mute. I want to hear a win today. Don't make me volunteer somebody.
I can say something, Pastor.
Please.
For most people probably don't know that I'm a fraud investigator for a bank. I deal with unemployment debit cards. So I was number one this week, and I've helped the bank with I think it was over $5 million that they didn't have to, from fraud. So I'm thankful that that God has blessed me and has kept me focused and making sure that the perpetrators don't get the money from the state and from the bank.
Awesome. Well, do me a favor, guys. Throw those hands in the air. Let's celebrate her. Great job. Get some woo-hoos inside the chat. The bank appreciates you saving them all that money. Now, what kind of bonus did they give you?
I'm supposed to find out next week, actually.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. Talk about the money. When you do something good on the job, immediately turn to your boss and say, bro, can you hook the person up? Who else has got a win? That was a good win. That's a lot of money. Good Lord. People out there stealing money like that? Who else we got?
This is Doshana. I am Doshana Moore, and as a result of constant posting, my book came to the attention of another wonderful, beautiful person, and it was in the mail. I've already shipped it out, and they're already getting it.
Beautiful. So that's a book, right? Man, come on, give that up.
Yes. We have book sales still in the works. Book sales, and this is a book I wrote in 2020. It wasn't even the recent one. So yep, they got it.
Look at that, girl. You know what? What you can do with that book is just rebrand the front of it, resell it, bring it out like it's new again. Act like you ain't never seen it before. Man, look at this. I got a new book. Yeah. Hey, it all works, guys. Well, great. Those are some good wins. Anybody else? Real quick, and we're gonna move on. All right, I won't beat you up. Let's move on. So wins are important. Celebrate your wins, guys. I don't care how small, minute. I need you to get back to celebrating those wins, because what you need and what I'm trying to get you to do is build momentum. And once you start getting used to wins, celebrating those wins, then you start looking for more wins. If you're not celebrating those wins, then you kind of just let them come and go. And then when things happen real bad, you focus on the bad because you haven't celebrated any of the wins. So I need you to give me the same energy on your wins as you do your losses. And some of you, when it comes to losing, oh my God, you go into a deep depression, under the covers, we can't find you for 2 days. You actually literally go into witness protection program, some of you, because you won't answer your phone. I mean, just one bad thing happened. I'm not even did up in the Bible today. And that's, I need you to give your wins that same energy. Fair enough? If that's fair enough, put in the chat, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, guys, on tonight, value. This is something that's important to me because a lot of times we don't value what we do. And the word value, I'm big on definitions. It says the regard that something is held or deserves the important worth or usefulness of something. This is really important because a lot of times we don't value ourselves. I'm going to use myself as a prime example. Is when I first was coming up, I didn't know what to charge people when it came to financial services and things of that nature, because I really didn't know how to value my time. Some of you still are struggling on how to value your time. And here's how I know you're struggling, because your time right now is predicated upon your hourly rate, wage. In other words, you tell yourself, I'm making $20 an hour. Really? That's what you value? I'm making $30 an hour. Really? That's your value? Think about this for a minute. I can buy you for 1 hour for less than $30. Do you really value yourself? Ooh, see, some of you looking at me, now I get that brain clicking now, because you were sold on the idea that you're only worth so much per hour. Matter of fact, they were so cold, they made it minimum wage. So here's what the minimum you're actually valued by the company. We value you by this much. I remember I was valued at $3.35 an hour. That tells my age. I remember when minimum wage was $3.35. Well, I don't even know what minimum wage is right now. What is minimum wage? Like $10? Somebody put in chat what minimum wage is. So now you went from minimum wage to maybe what, $15? Okay, if I hit you, let me know. $20, $30, $40, $50, $100. How much are you worth an hour now? How much can we buy you for an hour? I can buy you for $25 an hour. Is that all? Is that the value now that we placed on ourselves? Isn't that interesting how we have come to such a point that we allow people to put a value on our life, but we don't even know what we're worth? Got you thinking already? So now, if we don't know what we're worth, that might mean that maybe we've sold our dream. In other words, maybe we put a value on our dream. I know some of you, you're like, what is he talking about? Where is he going with this? Your dream might have been sold for job security. Your dream might have been sold so you can get health care. Well, I can't quit my job right now because you know me and my family, we need that health care. Your dream of being self-employed, well, I can't work off a commission. Now, commission, you can cancel that. I need me a check. I need a check on the 15th and the 30th. I got to see it. I got to have it. And you be getting that check like, yay! And then the next day or even the day before, that check gone. You know, I remember when I was collecting that check like that when I was in the military. And it's sad, I was working in the military, working at McDonald's, even tried to work a little bit at, I forget the name of that place. It was a place to where you can actually ship stuff off. UPS, tried that for a day, okay? My back was toe up from the floor up, so I couldn't do that. Tried security, and so here I am calculating all this work, trying to figure out what my value is. And found out that nobody else valued me because no matter how tired you are, they're telling you get your butt back to work. Some of y'all working like Hebrew slaves for $5 an hour. If you really look at all you do, and then at the end of the day, calculate what you made, that's what you're worth that day. Oh, I know, I hear you. Oh, no, that's not right. That just ain't right. I can't believe he's saying this stuff. But at the end of the day, you gotta look at what did I value? How did I value my time? What value did I place on me being and doing what I did? So some of you might have, now some of you haven't, but maybe some of you, if you're like me, my biggest struggle with becoming an entrepreneur was leaving that government job. Because what are you told growing up? Get you a good job. Matter of fact, if you get you a government job, man, you should retire. And they put those golden handcuffs on you. Anybody got those golden handcuffs? Don't raise your hand, don't raise your hand. But you get to the point to where now those handcuffs are so tight because they promise you a pension, and that pension by the time you get there is worth little to nothing compared to what you could have made by yourself. It's so funny right now. Can I tell a story? Another story. I was in the military and I was making at that point maybe like $2,500, $3,000 a month. That's what they value the military people. I was in the military, y'all, and on WIC. So that tell you where that went, okay? So now the military gave me that check. Now I did what, 8 years, 7 years, and I filed for disability. So now the military gives me a check for almost $1,500 a month, tax-free. So if I would have stayed in 20 years, I would have been making about the same money I'm making that they give me for free. Is your dream for sale? If I would have stayed in, What would that have done for me? Really? Except me giving all my time and the most important of my time, which is time is the one thing, remember, you can take from somebody, but you can't get back. So that means that when somebody takes your time, they can never, ever, 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 never, ever give you back. Some of you have allowed people to take your youth. Yeah, they have, because you look hard. I know you don't look hard. Y'all look good. I'm sorry, I'm your coach. I can't say bad stuff. No, you look good for your age. You've aged well and gracefully. But some of you know some people, not nobody in this community, but some of you know some people that they are like 30 and they look 50. Because the job has aged them and put time on them because they sold their dream. Interesting stuff. So now, what is the value of you being and doing things that you don't want to do? What value have you placed on your dream? Is your dream worth you stepping out and doing what you know to do? Or do you not value yourself enough? Commission jobs are tough for a lot of people because it's not, you don't know if you're gonna get money or not get money. And so it's tough because now it's a faith walk, which I know I have some people that are faith people, but it's funny how we have faith, but only to a certain extent. Our faith goes to a certain place and it's like, wait a minute, my faith just fell off the cliff. And so I don't fault anyone for that because I was there too, because I was stuck in that rat race until I got to the place where I had to ask myself, how much do I value my time? Or what is my dream worth to me? Is it worth the risk? But this has to be something that you have to make a decision with yourself. Some of you that were in my seminar a couple of weeks ago, I told you explicitly that I know two things. I'll never be broke. I'll never be broke. And I'll never be homeless. So I settled those things. So once you settle certain things in your spirit or in your mind's eye, then you won't be concerned about those things anymore. Because honestly, if you really think about it on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's the lowest form to be concerned about your needs. That's the lowest form of life, is thinking about how am I going to make it day to day. So is your dream for sale? In other words, have you given up your dream for your right now? Because right now, many of you are going to survive. But at what point will you go from survival to thriving? Or will you allow yourself? Maybe it's because you don't value yourself as much as you think you do. Maybe you value the security more than you value your freedom. How many want some freedom? If that's you, put in the chat, I need freedom. Matter of fact, sing the song, freedom, 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 I want freedom. You know, we want financial freedom. How many of you really look at your numbers on your job that you're making this money on, really realize that at some point, you still ain't gonna be free? Ain't that something to think about? All right, I'm hitting you, I'm coming, boom, boom, boom. That's what we do. I told you, I'm your coach. I'm not trying to be your buddy. I got enough friends. I want to see you do some things, okay? So here's a question for you, and I want you to write it down, those that are taking notes, and I want you to kind of go back and ponder this. A lot of stuff I give you, I want you to think about, okay? The investments, the money, all that stuff, that's nothing. I get all that every day. I get opportunities running across my desk, some stuff I can't even do. I was sharing with someone today earlier, they just get bigger. And now you have to be more concerned about the bigger stuff, because you can get stuck at 20,000, you can get stuck at 2 million. It's just where you're gonna get stuck at. You know, I told somebody, this is a little joke and I'm gonna move on, but I told them it's hard in this house, paying the mortgage and paying the bills, but it's also hard living on a bench. The question is, which hard you want? Either way, it's gonna be hard, right? How many agree that it's gonna be hard? You living on a hard bench is hard, right? You being homeless is hard, right? But how many know that being in your house, taking care of what needs to be taken care of, that's just as hard, okay? But now, how much do you value you? Question I want you to ask yourself. And when I say that, here's what I want you to think about, is when it comes to your health, how much do you value you? Right now, are you in optimum health? And I'm not talking about weight, forget that. I'm talking about, do you feel good? Are you in a premium place to where now if you need to go on a speaking gig and do 10 different gigs in 2 weeks, will your body be able to handle it? Will your voice be able to handle it? Have you prepared yourself mentally, physically to make that next move? When it comes to your mind, how much do you value your mind? Do you buy a book to strengthen your mind? Do you get videos? Do you watch podcasts? Are you doing stuff to find out information that you might not know? How much do you really value your mind? Do you value your mind enough to make sure that you feed your mind? If you had a choice between getting a sandwich and getting a book, which would you do? Think about that for a minute. Some of you, man, I'm gonna get that sandwich, man, I'm hungry. But what if I told you the book would actually get you more sandwiches? So ask yourself, how much do I really value me? Right now, if I told you that you are supposed to be, right now, I don't know about you guys, but I have to put premium in my cars. If I put regular unleaded in my cars, then my car, it knocks, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, it kind of stutter step, it does all the wrong stuff. But when I put premium in, when you think about how much you value you, are you putting in premium stuff? Or are you putting in regular unleaded stuff? Anybody get that analogy? Okay. How much do you value your time? When you start talking to people, you say, girl, I make $30 an hour. Are you really excited about $30 an hour being worth your time? Think about that twice. You know, I heard somebody say, if you think twice, you'll be genius. Because even at $30 an hour, if you did the math calculation, what is that? $40 an hour, what is that? $50 an hour, what is that? And just think about the aspect of, I can buy you for that little bit of money per hour. So why would you ever put an amount on your time? If anything, make sure that the money that you put on your time is what you want and not what just somebody's telling you you're worth. So if somebody asks you, well, how much are you worth? Well, if you could just give me $20, I'll be high on the hog. Maybe that's where your mentality is. Maybe it's $30, maybe it's $40, maybe it's even $50 an hour. But when I do the calculation and the math, $50 an hour, that don't work. That don't work. Somebody do the calculation and put it in there for me. $50 an hour, somebody, I'm balling out of control. $50, yeah, right. And when you really think about that, once again, how much do you value you? Okay? How much do you value your family? Do you value them enough to take them on vacations instead of working them like slaves? And I'm not talking about vacations that you on vacation, talking about, well, we can only do 3 things. We can't do all 5. We can only do 3. I'm talking about a vacation that's really a vacation, to where me and my boys and my wife, we went to was it Cancun? No, Cabo. And we did everything. Everything we wanted to do, we did. And I didn't have to look at my checkbook to see, can we do it? So to me, when you're on vacation, you want to be on vacation to enjoy your family. So how much do you really value your family? Do you value them enough to do more so that they can enjoy life more? Okay, I'm gonna get off you. Okay, we're gonna smile here in a minute. I'm gonna crack a few jokes. What is your time worth to you? Think about that. I know you get an hourly wage, but for one moment, can someone really put an amount to your time? Or will you let somebody put an amount to your time? You'll note that I don't have hourly coaching sessions. You can't put me in a box like that. Because in my career, I'll make $15,000 in an hour. Matter of fact, the real estate deal I'm gonna show some of you, within 6 months, you can make 30 grand. For some of you, that might be your income for the year. For some of you, that might be half your income. But how about if we took half the year and produce your income? You just need 1 or 2 of those, and that's a wrap, okay? What value have you put on your time? I need you to start looking at it from a perspective and stop celebrating those hourly wages, okay? I'm talking to a group of entrepreneurs, and being an entrepreneur, you cannot, please don't put an amount on your time. Some of you that are gonna be coaches, please do me a favor. Don't get to do an hourly coaching deal. Because one thing about an hourly coaching deal, that means that anybody can buy you for that hour. I do $125 an hour. That all you're worth? Am I making you think tonight? If I'm making you think tonight, just put in the chat. You got me thinking. Got me thinking, RW. You got me thinking. I gotta stretch you. So in order to stretch you, sometimes I make you a little mad at me. But you can be mad at me. I got big shoulders. Okay. So here's one thing I want you to think about as I'm giving you more. You believing in yourself to do anything is natural. How many, when you were a little person, you wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, you wanted to be an astronaut, you wanted to be this, come on, put in the chat what you want to be. Come on, tell me what you want to be. I know some of y'all want to be this, and you want to do that, and come on, put it in the chat. Don't be scared now, don't be scared. What did you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up, little girl? What do you want to be when you grow up? In other words, we have these big lofty dreams of, yes, I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna be an astronaut. I'm gonna be all that. But it's crazy because that part of your life was natural. And then the unnatural part is when people told you what you can't do. You got to be realistic. You know, you out there trying to do, you know, when I left my government job, I couldn't even call my mama, and I love her. Only because, unfortunately, the mindset is a little different because they were taught, especially back in those days, get a good job, make a nice wage, retire, and you're set for life. Okay? But for you, I want you to think about this. What have you been talked out of? Where, at what point in your life did you start running scared? Where did you stop growing and expanding to where you can do anything you put your mind to? At what point did you put your relationship on hold and said, you know what, I'm just gonna do me, and my relationship gonna be what it is? At what point did you get complacent or so stuck where you're at? And what areas of your life that you decided subconsciously that you want to stop growing? If you're bold enough, put that in the chat. Because if you want to be this, but then other people told you come back down to earth, then those people are the ones that really brought you to a point to where it's making you question, can you do it? I'm here to tell you, you can do anything you put your mind to. I completely, some of you, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm expecting superstardom from you. But the only bad thing is, and why I have to have these conversations, is because you don't value you enough yet to actually do it. And because you're operating off of fear and not faith. Now, here's what we do, and I'm gonna throw this out there for my faith people. We'll say we have all this faith, but we'll have all this faith, but I'm gonna be honest, when I first stepped out on my government job, and I'm not telling nobody to step out of their government job, everybody stayed employed. I don't want no letters. I don't want nobody's mama or nobody's husband calling me saying, you told my wife to quit her job. You told my husband to quit it. No, that ain't me. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking, what's your value? What do you value? If I told you tomorrow that you have to go out there and value, and you have to be the one to make things work for you. Some of you is like, I can't do it. Well, that might be because you don't value that you're valuable. I'm so valuable, I believe this. You can put me in a jungle buck naked, and I'll come out that jungle 10 pounds heavier with a chinchilla coat on. I don't care where you put me. I told my boys growing up, you as a man, you should be able to be dropped in the middle of Las Vegas and find your way home. As a woman, after all you've been through, giving babies, birth to babies and carrying on, what can't you do? Come on, y'all. At what point will you value you enough to know that you are worthy? You're worth it. You are worthy of greatness. You are worthy. Matter of fact, some of you, I want to say this, is you've allowed other people to minimize your greatness and minimize your value. Because they'll talk to you for hours about nothing. And you let them. They'll give you all their drama. You become the garbage dump. Anybody in here, well, don't put it in, well, no, don't put it in chat. Just think about this. But you're the one that everybody calls with drama. And I'm going to tell you, the reason they call you is because you're listening. Once you stop listening, they'll call somebody else. I don't have no drama friends. I don't. When people call me, you got 3 minutes to talk about your drama. After that, I got to go. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. All right? You know what I say, if it ain't about the money, don't be calling me up. don't do it. I got things to do. And so when you guys start looking at it that way, then it'll be different. Now, some people are going to get offended because I talked about money right there. You know, at some point, I'm going to get a big stack of money and just put it on my desk and wave it around. And that way you can see what money looks like and stop being afraid of it. I don't like it when people talk about money. Why is it that we don't talk about what we don't have? Isn't that something? I don't want to talk about money, but you need money. Some of you right now, you naturally know that you're built for greatness. And that's what the problem is, and why you're struggling right now is because you settle for mediocrity because you don't value yourself. Some of you put in the chat, if you like me, if I put you in the jungle, you coming out with a chinchilla too. I'm coming out with 10, I'm gonna be swole up. I'm not gonna die in the desert. I'm not gonna die in the jungle because I know me. And me's not gonna let me die. Some of y'all gonna curl up and be like, that's it, it's over. No. If I was gonna curl up and die, it would have been back when the market crashed and I lost a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, that's another story for another day. So question, what do you have to unlearn? There's some things right now that you have to unlearn. You have to unlearn your worth is controlled by other people. You have to unlearn that people can actually tell you what you're worth. And here's how I know you let people tell you, girl, what do I owe you? Oh, whatever you think, whatever you feel is fair. No, this is what you need to take care of me because I bring that kind of value. Right now, my personal coaching, for the people I'm personally coaching, oh, they're paying me $1,000 a month, all day long. Because when you get that kind of value, you don't mind paying for it. Okay? You guys, once again, how much value? What do you have to unlearn? What are some things that your mama and them told that they told you because they only knew how to play it safe? They only knew how to do the things to survive. How many grew up in a family that you were taught just survival? Girl, just survive. If you got, you know, I don't care if you don't got no money, but as long as your bills is paid, that don't matter. As long as you got gas in your car. Some of you, the sad thing is, you said you talk the same way now. As long as I got gas in my car, long as I got my bills paid, I'm good. I don't need nothing else. That's a scarcity mentality. And the sad thing is, you were taught that and you ate it up. And now it's become gospel to you. But now here comes RW to say, scratch all that. Let's throw all that out the window. That's a bunch of crap. You can have and do anything you put your mind to. You just have to want it bad enough. And you have to value yourself to trust you to do it. Right now, as I look at you guys, I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. But now, as we talked about last week, what is your why? Now, what is your value? In other words, these are mental stuff. I know some of you are like, well, I want to hear about the business. I want to hear about this. Yeah, we get all that. But really, you've got to get through the mental part first. If you mentally can't see yourself with it, I mentally saw myself in an office overlooking stuff. Now, I didn't know it would be the Maserati dealership, but I saw myself in the office overlooking stuff 10 years before I got there. Where have you envisioned yourself to be that you're not heading in the direction of? Because of fear, because of doubt, because the things that you were taught, because you don't value you. Okay? This is heavy again today. I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. Forget that. I'm not going to be sorry. I want you guys to really feel everything I'm saying. And then if nothing else, you're going to be like, that coach RW, good people. Or you're going to say, man, that guy, he ain't talking about a bunch of stuff. But I guarantee you, I can back up everything I tell you. And if you're around me long enough, I guarantee success is what you will have. And I guarantee you work with me for a year, you're gonna double, triple whatever you're making right now. I just gotta get your mind there. All right, real quick, I wanna open up and do a little group discussion. All right, so group discussion, we wanna talk about a couple things. Who taught you about value? Or when I say the word value, what does that mean to you? Delshana, I'm gonna hit you up because I always like the way you respond. When I say value, what value, how do you value you in the aspect of what was taught to you that now we have to unlearn or you have to unlearn?
Value was defined as service to others by both my parents. And so what I have to unlearn is that service has a charge, an expense, and it can be quantified monetarily and needs to be. That compensation is due. And it's my duty to expect it, and it's the receiver's duty to offer it. So I have to unlearn that.
Man, that's powerful. That's actually going to my point, but I'm gonna get there since you already took me there, which is now learning that how many of you on this thing, Zoom, that are talking, that looking at me right now, you've literally helped people to the point to where it almost saved their life. How many have done that? Then now what value can you place on that? Yeah, what can you value on what you've done for people? How can you put a value on that? So how can anybody ever devalue you when you brought so much value to the table? Here's what I want you to learn tonight about value. The more valuable you are, the more money you make. If you come to the table, and let me use, oh gosh, let's see, who can I use? Let's use Robbie. Where's Robbie at? Robbie, did you disappear on me? No, not Robbie. Terrell, are you at a point where you can talk?
Yes, sir.
Question for you, man, real quick. I'm talking about value. So right now, I know you're a father, correct?
Yep.
How long you been a father for?
22 years. My son's the oldest, 22.
22 years. So you got 22 years of being a father. Okay. What else have you done over those, say, just 22 years that you've accomplished? Where have you traveled to?
I mean, all over. Jamaica, Cancun, Cabo. Yeah, Dominican Republic. Couple places.
So you've traveled the world a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what about your job? How long have you been at your job?
This current job, 11 years.
11 years. Now, what do you do for work?
My title is Vice President of Strategic Accounts, but I manage events.
Manage events. Okay. So you got 11 years in this job. Now, how long have you been doing it overall?
20 years. I was at another company for 10 years as well. So over 20 years.
20 years of working and managing events.
Yep.
So when I talk to you, now how long have you been married? How long have you been married?
23 years.
23 years. And your wife says half of it was good. But anyway. But anyway, so when I talk to you, Terrell, I'm talking to somebody that's traveled the world. Someone that's raised kids for 22 years. Someone that's been in a marriage for 23 years. Somebody's been in their business for umpteen years. You've seen everything and anything that can be thrown at you. So now when I look at sitting down with you in one setting, I'm getting all of that. Can I put a price on that? Ooh.
Yeah, it's deep.
Man, have you ever thought about that, Terrell? That when people sit down with you, they're not just sitting down with you, they're sitting down with all your experience.
Right. No, I agree, totally.
All your wisdom. So when you're even at your job and you're just a vice president position, if you think about all your knowledge and all your understanding, what couldn't you do on your own that you haven't already done for somebody else?
Totally agree. Crossed my mind several times.
but they got good benefits. I'm good with it. Huh?
They don't.
They said they don't. Who was that, the wife?
Yeah.
But I want you to see this big picture of when I talk to any one of you, I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to you that struggled, you that overcame, you that went through all these things, you that traveled, you that been in this business, you that raised kids, you that been in a marriage. So I'm literally sitting down with this person that's got all this knowledge, all this wisdom, all this insight that you count, most of you do, as no value or little value. You should literally charging people every time they sit down with you. Before you open your mouth, that'll be 5 million. But see, that's not the way that we operate, because that's not the way we're told to operate. The multi-million-dollar people that I work with, they're not working like Hebrew slaves. They're not out there trying to work. They're not doing that. They're using this. And they're taking all their life experiences and everything that they have, and they're putting that to work. One thing my mom did tell me growing up, she said, boy, don't work with your hands. Don't work with your head. With your hands, I'm sorry. Don't work with your hands, work with your head. And so that has changed my life. Because when everybody else was trying to work and do all this other stuff, which I tried for a minute because I devalued myself. But once I found that I was valuable, then I can trust me to take care of me. Right now, question, can you trust you to take care of you? Now, some of you guys are real spiritual, so I'm gonna throw it the spiritual side of it. If your daddy is a king, and not just a king, but the king of kings, but you out here living like a pauper, because a king's kid, if we remember from coming to America, he had somebody to brush his teeth. He had somebody to wipe his behind. I know that got a little graphic. He got somebody to do everything that needed to be done. Only thing he had to do was show up. At what point will you know in your life that all you really need to do is show up? Because you're valuable. You got everything you need for what you need to be doing. There's nothing you lack. And what you don't know, you only add into what you already do know. And to stay relevant or be to where you can actually deal with people, you just have to learn more as you already know more. Is this resonating with anybody? If it is, put in the chat, you talking right to me. I think I might take an offering. I feel the Holy Spirit. No, I want you to know, guys, that this is important because you have to feel this. If you don't feel this and realize how valuable you are, like some of you, let me throw this out there. Don't beat me up. Don't write me letters. But my wife and me, we don't walk out the house any kind of way. My wife, because of the excellence that we have in my house, we don't walk out with bandanas on our head and carrying on. And unless we go into the gym, there's a level that you have to portray within your family, within your kids, within your household. That's why my kids, when they were living with me, they wasn't wearing no do-rags and carrying on out the house. You represent me. You better get your stuff together. Now they on their own, hey, you do what you want to do. But before, when you was in my house doing what we doing, there was a level or a standard of excellence. Some of you, and I've gotten on some of you already, when you now are promoting your business, when you are out there in the public, you need to put your best face first. Think about this. When's the last time you seen me walk around looking bummy? Think about it. Normally, when you see me, I'm coming with it, unless we're in a certain event. But with that being said, guys, I'm just saying that if you walk like a CEO, you'll draw CEOs. If you walk like a doctor or a teacher or whatever, you'll draw. Like right now, I'm mentoring and coaching a doctor. She's not a doctor yet, but she's 8 months away from getting her doctorate. And she was quitting. She literally was quitting, only 8 months left. And she sat down at my desk and said, I don't want to do it. I don't think I want to. I slapped her around and she paid me for it. I slapped her around some more and she paid me for it. And now she's getting ready to get her doctorate. I talk to her, I call her Dr. Yeah, I call her now a doctor, even though she hasn't received it, because I already see where she's going. Most of you, I can see where you're going, but I need you to see it and value the person that you've become. All right? You're not who you used to be. You're better than that. All right, real quick, guys, let me get back into it. All right, I done preached enough for the night. You guys talk trash about me. That was the group part, but now let's deal with the conversation around the information. What did you get tonight? Let me see somebody new. I know Andre might be rolling. Are you rolling, Andre, or where you at?
I was trying to find the unmute button. Yeah, I'm rolling.
Oh, you rolling, man. You
You hear
rolling.
me?
What did you get on tonight, real quick? Give me a nugget.
The value of when someone encounters you, your whole life experience, that's what they're getting at that one moment. I like that.
Yeah, so now you can't play
Hello?
yourself cheap or play small. I'm sorry, go ahead, Andre.
You broke up. What'd you say?
I said, now when you realize that, you can't play cheap anymore or let anybody play you cheap.
My phone is messing up. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I know you're rolling, man. I know you're rolling. Let me move down a little list a little bit. Appreciate you though, Andre. Keep on rolling, brother. Sharia, what nugget? Give me a quick nugget, something that you got tonight that might shift a little bit of what you've been thinking.
Learning to value myself. When you brought up, just thinking back, where did it start when you didn't value yourself? I didn't it made me think, because I didn't have parents that affirmed things with me growing up. I have a daughter and I tell her every morning, you are smart and beautiful. That is our affirmations we say every day. I didn't have that. So just that self-examining of where I need to heal is important for me. And watching, like Delshana said, services for goods. My dad was a musician all my life, and I never forget the day where he was supposed to get paid for a gig and they paid him donuts. I would never forget that. It's like my parents had bills and he was like, hold on, you just got all this money and the part that goes to me, you want to give me donuts? And I never forget how that just stuck with me. I wouldn't, when doing business, you can't lowball me because of that. I watched so many people hustle my father in the music business. It's like, no, you got to give me my money up front. I need my money now. I know how to value myself when it comes to service, but valuing myself to better myself, to look within, to say, you know what? I could be a little better so I could be competitive. You made me think a lot tonight.
Good. All you guys are on this Zoom, you're all competitive in your own right. You literally hate losing. And you've allowed other people to tell you that, oh, well, you're second place. No. You know what second place is? The first loser.
And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta confess. I had a stepmom. She would tell me a lot, you think you perfect. You think you perfect. And I would be in situations, I would be the teacher's pet in the classroom and my classmates would pick on me. So I gotta play dumb. And a lot of situations I seen myself where I had to play dumb because people were intimidated that I was smarter than them. And in a lot of situations, I still would play stupid. I look at you and know your whole narrative because I'm in the fifth dimension, but I got to play stupid with you because we're not on the same level. So, I hate to say that, but I'm the pretty girl that plays stupid a lot because I figure society accepts a pretty girl being stupid, then accept a pretty girl being stupid. And I got to change that.
Wow, that's a whole revelation right there. Because that means that some point in your life, some of you are playing really small and it doesn't serve the world. I know, you're not used to this kind of conversation, but this is what we deal with RW coaching, because we want to get you to the point to where you start going to that next level, and not even level, forget levels. Let's go to the next dimension. Hold on one second. I want to get something I was reading. And I wrote this down, and I think this is apropos for what we're talking about. Here it is. Don't be intimidated out of your greatness. Don't let anybody intimidate you out of your greatness. In other words, people will tell, well, no, you can't do that because, you know, that's gonna make people upset. You know, the way I'm talking right now, you used to in your last life think that, oh, he's bragging, oh, he's doing this. It ain't bragging if it's true. I'm gonna look at y'all like my dog look at me sometime. Yeah, I said it. It ain't bragging if it's true. It ain't. All right. Let's go. Dr. Kathy, are you at a place to where you can say something?
Hey there.
Hey, what's going on, Dr. K?
I am
Yeah,
at
another
a
Dr.
place.
K. My other client is Dr. K. Look at, I got 2 Dr. Ks.
You know, I am at a place I can say something, but I'm trying to say something because this is some heavy duty stuff. It really is. I put in the chat earlier that we need an altar call because I'm feeling some kind of way. Oh, wait.
Oh my
You have
goodness.
stirred up so many emotions today. It's just, I mean, you're good at what you do. I just thank God for you. But wow, it's one thing to value yourself, but it's also another thing for someone to see and recognize your value, right? So today I got a check in the mail for $10,000
Wow.
just because
Just
they recognize my value.
look at that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you just like, as always, you're on my street. But, so I'm thinking about this and it came from the most unlikely person.
Wow.
And actually didn't even think they had that much money laying around, but they saw me. And wow, I mean, I'm just, you done messed me up tonight because
And that's just a token of what's due you.
my God.
That's just a token. Some of you haven't realized yet that you ain't even seen what eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. I ain't want to preach. Okay, we ain't there, but I get it. Good stuff. Sammy, are you the place? I know you're working, man. I don't know if you can chat. Let me know what you got on tonight. Did you get something? Hopefully a little something to help you out.
Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. So many gems. Let me think. When you asked the question of who taught you your value, or it was something in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to say, life itself, kind of like made me question my value, type of thing. I'm sure everyone kind of. Actually, no, it's 2 things. You said, are you feeding yourself? Are you reading books? Are you listening to podcasts? That type of thing. So when I would hear about anyone else up in my profession, I would look at the time that they've been in it and how much they've produced within that little time. And I've been doing that said profession way longer and been getting less, type of thing.
Mm.
So then I would try to go back and reevaluate my situation. Like, wait a minute, what am I charging less, or am I timid? Do I need to go ahead and, put some different things in place? So, as I'm going through my day to day, I'm just questioning the value. Like, those type of things. Those type of things are, as I listen to you right now, those are the type of things that I go back to. Like, was it a documentary I watched? Was it an article I read, or something like that? Someone in conversation when you go to a convention and you get around your peers. You just get those different gems from this person and that person.
Powerful, man. Good. I'm glad you got something on tonight. It's the big key, guys, is yes, in this community is different because I'm not going to placate you. I'm not going to let you play small. If anything, I'm going to challenge you to come up. So in other words, I'm not going to come down. I'm not coming down, guys. I'm bringing you up here. Matter of fact, my goal is, as a good coach, is to see you surpass me. quicker. My goal is to get you further faster. It took me 24 years to get to this mindset I'm at today. And I want to show you how to do it in a year. I want to see how to turn things around. Matter of fact, those of you that have products and things that are out there in the market, I need you to increase it. I need you, whatever you're selling, I don't care if it's $5, I don't care if it's $2.50, stop selling it cheap. Stop giving, well, you know, I'll go ahead and give it to you for $5. Now, unless you do it like I do it, I know what I want. And so I might price it high and then give them a discount, but that's really what I wanted anyway. Okay, that's a different mindset. See, that's a different mindset. Some of you need to price something high enough and then reduce it, but it still is way more than what you wanted to get. Some of you go low first. You walk on a job, how much you want to make? Well, if I could just make $15, then I know I could take care of them churn and we can have some monies and stuff like that. No, you walk in and say, well, how much you want to? Well, you know what? I was really considering maybe about $40 to $50 just to get it started. Oh, but this ain't the job for you. Oh, this ain't that job? What job is it? In other words, make them now come to where you at. I guarantee it won't be $15. So everybody on here, if you had a book, I need you to increase this price. If you got a product, I want you to increase the price. Stop, and matter of fact, do me a favor, stop dealing with broke people. The problem is they can't afford you and they can't value you. So that's why you're struggling right now. You need to step your game up. Did I just get upset? I'm sorry, I'm passionate. I get a little passionate, I get a little excited. I need you making more money. I have a vision with you being on my website with testimonials. I started working with RW and I went from here to here. Tamika, you guys heard about her in the meeting. I knew her from when she was a little girl, coached her, 15 houses later. Guys, this stuff, what I'm telling you, is gonna happen. It's not if, it's when. Okay? Man, we gotta go. Let me say, wait a minute. I like hearing what you got to say. Darrell, what did you get, man? I know I harassed you a little bit about that, but what was your thought on that? I know I hit you real quick with that one, but what nugget did you get tonight?
Just the overall concept. I mean, I think your monologue was right on point. It's valuing yourself, knowing that you need to get your worth for what you require. You know what I mean? And we struggle with that as a community, as a society, as our people. We don't do that a lot. So I appreciate the confirmation and the affirmation to do those things and follow through with it.
Absolutely, man. Well, good. Glad you're on, because many of you guys right now are undervalued. And the only reason you're undervalued, I learned from my millionaire friends, they only pay people what they think they're worth. That's what they do. You can't pay a $15 an hour person a $50 an hour because they're used to being $15. So you pay them where they're comfortable. Even though you would pay them more, but you only pay them what you pay them because that's what they think they're worth. So maybe, just maybe, you're making what you're worth, or at least what you think you're worth. Well, I'm gonna discount it. That's because you're dealing with broke people. I'm gonna put a sign on my chest. Stop dealing with broke people. I didn't get the offers I got to deal with broke people. Okay? Get to a point to where you step your game up. Stop discounting yourself. You need to take yourself off a sale. Right now, some of you guys get yourself on sale. I'm for sale. $15 an hour, you got me. Come on, man. Stop being pimped by the world and get to the place to where you actually now know your value and you go out and do great things. All right, guys. All right. I think I got you fired up tonight. Don't be mad at me. Or if you are mad at me, you'll get over it, I promise. Accountability, close the gap, guys. Got to be accountable. I want you to be accountable. Some of you I'm meeting with, I'm doing low-key calls, I'm DMing you, I'm hitting you up. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed, okay? I need you to succeed. It's actually on my list. I told you guys, I want to help 1 million people, but I can't do it. So that means I got to help 1,000 of y'all. I help 1,000 of y'all, you're going to multiply yourself, and it's going to end up being 1 million, okay? But we have to be accountable to each other, okay? Next thing is, don't go it alone. Get help. That's why you're here. I want to help you. I know I can help you. Matter of fact, I know some of you that don't know me yet can be like, well, he just talking. You don't know me. You really don't know me. You hang with me long enough, I promise you, you're going to do more than what you thought you could do. Now you're going to be mad doing it. If you don't believe that, ask my wife. You know, I love her enough to make her mad at me to do what she needed to get done. Okay, she had her EA. I'm not going to talk about it because she'll beat me up later. But anyways, I ain't scared of you, woman. I ain't scared of you. But anyway, you can't go it alone. And everybody needs help, okay? Everybody needs help. With this being said, how can I help you? Guys, of course, I can help you with insurance, investments, home buying, mortgages, estate planning, LLCs, tax and bookkeeping, tax resolution. What I can help you with, I have a team that can. I have a group that can. I've vetted these people. They're good people and they work hard, especially for me, because they know my level of what I expect. When you work with people of excellence, you get excellent support, all right? So that's important. So now I'm not just that guy or the coach that you talk to that's gonna tell you, well, do this and do this. I'm gonna help you do it. And I'm gonna move you into that next place, okay? Deshaun, you had your hand up. What were you thinking? Give me your thought.
It was the takeaways to celebrate my wins. Don't play it down small and don't downplay that. And that I sold my dreams for a government paycheck so I could feed my son when I became a single mom. I never really picked it back up till more recently. And so just I've been able to identify that as an awesome perspective and understanding why I'm where I'm at. But when it comes to learning more and mentally, I'm like a sponge to the field of coaching, sucking in information, getting more information and figuring out now how to implement all that. And the last takeaway that I had, I can't read my own writing. All right, amen. What I did write down ultimately was, it's time to level up. It's time to level up, level up, level up, level up. And that's what I wrote down.
Beautiful. Man, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Did I miss anybody? I know where time is gone, but man, I love the dialogue. I love it. I love it. I love it because to me, that means you're getting something. And for me, that's more important than me sitting there saying a whole bunch of stuff and you're not getting anything. Now, with this, guys, there's a value exchange here. We talked about value. I value me. I value my time. That's why I do the group thing, because now I know I have time to do it. Now I'm at a place to where I know I can help you. Not that I couldn't help you before, but now I know I can. There's no doubt. I have no doubt that I can. So with that, the weekly group virtual call, to stay on this call and be a part of this is $99 a month. I guess my question is to you is, do you value yourself enough to be in a group of people that are going to challenge you to be better? Or is your value in, well, I can't. Now, the funny thing is, if this was for somebody else, you do it. If I said, hey, let's get your kids on and let's put them on and you do it. Let's do something. In other words, you would do it for somebody else, but because you don't value yourself, you won't do it for you. I just spent, probably over 10 grand on myself. Last year, if I look at what I actually spent on educating myself, it was probably close to $30,000 to $40,000 that I spent on self-education. I went to a place where I learned about getting apartments done. It cost me, that alone trip was 10 grand. But to me, I value me so much that I'd rather put money into me than put money into somebody else. I want you to think about that for a minute. Do you value you enough to invest in you? Okay? So with that being said, I need you to step your game up. I got the midgets on standby, and you guys seeing the midgets, they break up kneecaps. So take care of it. It's the first of the month, all right? Last thing is, and I'm gonna let you guys go, is I have an investment opportunity. I'm actually working this myself right now, but I wanted to show you the stuff that comes up. So there's an investment property. It's not on the market. It's not on the market. So a lot of the deals that are happening are not on the market. It's about being in this type of community to where when stuff comes up, you can now either take it yourself or pass it on to somebody else. So with this, the opportunity is a flip property. It's $315,000 as a purchase price. There's probably about 12 to 15,000 renovations needed. And right now the property as is valued at about $375. Okay, so the profit roughly about $30K in 6 months, and not a bad little investment depending on what you're trying to do. Actually, in 6 months, it could be worth even more depending on how the market runs. So it could turn into a $400,000 that it could make. Only reason why we'd have to keep it for a little bit is because there's a renter intact. And so if I were to get it, which I'm working on seeing how I can make this maneuver for myself or my son, then what I'm going to do is buy it. We're going to let the renter stay there. We're going to work around the renter, do like the outside landscaping, little stuff I've seen the property. So a few little things. A lot of this stuff is eye candy. And eye candy don't cost a lot, but it brings the value up. Okay. Then once the renter's done, which I believe is like 3 months, then I move the renter completely out. But in the meanwhile, guess what I did for those 3 months? You guessed it, collected rent. Guess when my first payment's gonna be due? After 2 months. So you got 2 months before you make your first payment, right? So in those 3 months, I'm already collecting money to replenish the money I put down on it. So now I can come back and make it work. Put the renovations into it, might take, once I put the renter out in 3 months, I'll go in, hammer it out, and then see what the time frame looks like. And depending on the time frame, then I can turn around and flip it and sell it. Okay. Also, there's another one that just popped up because I'm even looking at my investment property that I have. I picked it up, my little ghetto property, for 100,000. Right now, I think it's clocking about 140, 150. And so in about 6 months, I'm probably going to flip that one too. So those of you that are investors out there, you might not have opportunities. So I'm going to create some opportunities for those that are ready. So what I want you to do, those of you that are in that mindset, get yourself together, meet with me. Let's find out what you need to do to get yourself in position to make these moves. Because when they do come up, they go quick. So that's why I have to get your mindset, because a lot of deals that come, you can't sit back and process what you already want to do. You got to pull the trigger. Some of you guys were in the seminar and you heard me talk about the little ghetto house that I bought, and I didn't go and ponder it. Matter of fact, I didn't even want another investment property that was actually a residential, but couldn't pass it up. Are you kidding me? Who's going to pass up $600 a month for positive cash flow? And now the market is up, and for what I paid for it and what it's worth already, I mean, and I'm going to say I bought it 6 months ago, 5 months ago. Yeah, about 5 months ago. And so I'm looking at probably maybe before mid-year, I'm going to put it back on the market. And the good news is even that property for someone that's coming into the game is going to be a good first investment. Because even if you can walk away with $300 to $400 a month in cash flow, you're doing really well. All right. I hit you with some stuff tonight. I'm so glad you were on board. We are past our time by 13 minutes, but I will stay for 2 minutes to hear any questions that you have. Any questions real quick? Yes, come, Ms. Cherie.
Mr. RW, my final question today is, how do I measure my value?
I go back to what we talked about earlier. If you look at all your life experiences, all the things that you have, now you have to take it and tell yourself what you're willing to accept. And the one thing I can tell you is that first number is not going to be the number. That second number is not going to be the number. But eventually you're going to get to that point to where now you'll be able to walk away with a nice check and you'll know that you're worth it. In other words, once you get it, you'll be worth it. When I made my first $25,000 in one sitting, it was amazing because it reminded me that, yeah, I'm worth this and more. So I don't believe you'll ever get what you're worth, but you can start pushing yourself towards it. And for what you offer, I know in the foot care industry and the way you care and all your products and all that stuff, all your pricing needs to come up. Problem is not the product, it's the broke people you're trying to sell it to. Step your game up. All right. And you're going to do it, man. I'm excited because you got multi-million-dollar ideas that I'm waiting to come to pass. Any other questions? Any other questions? Business questions? Business question you have that you say, you know what? I got this burning business question. I just need to see what you'll think about it. You got me.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So as people of faith, we give away a lot of stuff and we don't put a value on the things that we give away. you know, especially when we're working in the kingdom. So how do you, and you talked about this. So this is my question. In order to get the real meat of the matter and the juice and how to monetize that and to be okay with offering a value, but doing a value exchange, do we need to pay $1,000 a month to get that out of you?
Absolutely, and much more. You know,
Oh,
I'm on
okay.
sale
That's
right
what
now.
I was wondering.
I might be selling my stuff a little cheap now. I mean, when I first started out, it was like $249, then it went to $5, now it's at $1,000. I mean, you know, you better catch me while I was at $1,000.
Should have caught you last year.
But you know, the hardest thing is, and I get what you're going with this, is I love what I do, and I gave away so much to where my wife actually was the one. We were on an airplane, and I was with a lawyer, and he was just in a quandary, and I was not feeling that good. And my wife saw it. You know, I started coaching and talking to him just in that moment, and in that moment, his whole thing lifted up. And my wife said, "Babe, that's who you are." And
Wow.
learning how to put a value on that, which you really can't. But I think it's wonderful when you can give value and not be afraid to ask for value back. So I think
Can you write that book?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact,
Okay.
I'm low key working on one that's gonna make some people mad, which is embrace your greatness.
All right.
Get to the point to where you start embracing that you're great. Don't placate people. Don't let people make you feel better. Don't let people downplay you. Don't bring yourself down to make other people feel good. And when
All
you
right.
have-
Well, I want the book.
Yeah, you're in the wrong group. You're in the wrong group.
And I'm gonna grab 1,000 too, so I can have the whole conversation.
Oh, there you go. Make it happen, man. We can get you set. The cool thing is, guys, is and for what you're saying is now is just setting up those pockets. I know for me, there's certain things to me that are ministry, and there are other things that are actual business, and learning how to separate the two. In my ministry, those that know me, I don't put out what I do. You know, I don't know if anybody's really heard me say what I do exactly. You have to really get in. Even with this group, I've never put this group out in the church. It's like, I'm good. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you get to a place to where you realize that the people that are in front of you are cool, but those are really not the people. And if you are sound biblically, which I know you guys are, then the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. So what my job is to go out in the world, get everything and bring it back. So I can do ministry, but even in that, I still have to put a price on my time. And that depends on what you're doing. So it's kind of one of those things but it is a tough decision. I do understand that, but I do find out that you have to really value. I mean, what price can you put on someone watching over your soul? I know it's been given a bad rap, but when you really think about that value, what can you give somebody that, you know, my pastor, my whole family got saved within that church. What value can I put on him? You know, this is another conversation for another day, but unfortunately, we value broke people more than we value people that already have arrived. I need to teach you how to sew up. Stop sewing down. Stop giving to people that don't have. Now, I don't want to go here, but just real quick, if we look at the Bible and the talents, it seemed unjust to take away the talent from the one that didn't do nothing and give it to the one that already had. That story alone should let us know how we should sow. Why am I sowing into people that haven't produced any profit? Why do I give more to people that I put seed in that ground and there's no fertilization for it to grow? Am I more comfortable with that? Because then I feel like I've done something. Personally, I sow into people that are making a lot more than me. I take them to lunch. Like I got a guy he's a CEO. He actually has his own IPO. And this guy, matter of fact, he took 15 million to make 50 million. Actually, he's a good friend of mine. So I'm gonna bring him on one of our Zooms so you guys can say I met a multi-millionaire. But even in that, he was like, Ron, just call me. I want to be with you. And so funny how people see your value no matter where they're at, and they want to be around you because you value you so much. But you guys are going to get that, okay? Other than that, any other, real quick, we're way past our time. We're 20 minutes past. I apologize for the time, but I want to make sure I bring you value. And if I give you value, It's not robbery for me to look for value back. All right? Feel free to hit that Cash App, hit that Zelle. I got you. What you got, Darshana? Just for you.
Question on the REI, new to the area. Are these cash purchases?
No, you can actually buy them as investment property. And once you buy the investment property, so 25% down or 20% down, depending on your credit.
Mhm.
You put that money down and pretty much hold on to it for a couple months and turn and burn.
So the
No-
capitalization rate is pretty quick then.
Huh?
The capitalization rate then happens pretty quick because with the real return is only that down payment. And then whatever the renovations are.
You got it. You got it. And
Thank
so
you.
myself, on a couple of deals I partner on, some deals I do myself, is all about knowing how to leverage yourself to where now you can really work and do more. I can do more because I know how to leverage myself now. And in the meanwhile, as I'm leveraging myself, I'm giving people stuff that they didn't have before. You know, some of you right now, if I told you I could give you 10% on your money per year, who wouldn't take that deal right now? I'm gonna give you 10% every year on the money you give. Who's not gonna get that? I mean, if they don't, then I don't know where you're gonna get that from and know it's gonna be coming every month. But anyway, there's a lot of different opportunities that are coming up. I'm gonna share them with you as I get them. Some of them, like I said, I will be doing myself, but some of them I want to involve you, and some of them you'll be able to do. Okay? So throughout this year, look forward to starting to get ready to do some deals. And some of you that are looking for homes, you're gonna get a home. I'm telling you, these deals are not on the market. We just gotta stay focused and get around the right people. And when those guys are talking, like the reason I got in this conversation, I was talking to somebody, they were tired of their renter, they didn't want to deal with it, they didn't want to go and do the renovations, they didn't want to fix it up. And so I asked them, well, what does it worth to you? Oh, well, how much will you get rid of it for? Oh, what's the least? Oh, well, $315, because I know it's going to cost some money to get it done, and you got to make some profit. Those are the kind of people you want to be around. He understood. They understand that we want to make profit too. Now, people that you shouldn't be around is people that want all the profit. Well, I want to sell for $350. Well, there ain't no room. I don't have enough room to make it make sense for me. You follow? All right, guys. But those deals are coming. I'll show you how to put those together too as they come. And even some of you, like I said, we're going to collaborate together. And I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm going to walk you through it and show you exactly what we do. For me, this would be, gosh, now almost 20, over 25. I gotta start counting them more, I guess, as I'm getting more. But anyway, so it's been a game, but the game works, I promise you, okay? All right, guys, bless you, have a great night. Sorry for keeping you so long. All the new guys, hey, appreciate you being on. I pray you got some value out of this. You guys enjoy your night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.